welcome to another episode of Photographing Washington State Parks. Today and this weekend we are on the coast. This weekend it is Twin Harbors State Park, which is just south of Westport. As I was saying, the park, Twin Harbors State Park, is just south of the town of Westport, which is a fishing village on the Pacific Ocean. There are also several other parks in this area. One is Grayland to the south of Twin Harbors. One is West Haven, which is just outside, along the coast in Westport. And there's also a little place called Bottle Beach. And all of these places are wonderful to visit and photograph. Now, they don't have the dramatic sea stacks of what you'd find on the Oregon coast. This is more of a soft beach, sandy beach, stretching for a very long time, and north and south. And of course, because it's a public beach, always remember that cars are allowed on it, and it is considered part of Washington State's roadway system, highway system. Anyways, what is there to photograph in Twin Harbors? Oh, look. Trees, mossy trees. There's a wonderful shore pine forest here, and of course there's the beaches and the dunes. And you might think, oh, I can't get those grand dramatic landscapes like you can down the Oregon coast, so why bother? Well, why limit yourself? That's why I'm here at Twin Harbors, is to explore the area and enjoy the scenery, the quiet time. I kind of need a little quiet time, and to see what there is to see to photograph. I've been here a couple times and have really enjoyed walking through the forest. Right now I am on the dunes to sand nature trail. I think that's what the sign said at the beginning. It's something about the sand nature trail. And so the beach is that way in front of me. There's a roadway behind me. Campground is that way, and it's just the trail just meanders through the woods here. And all the woods, all these trees, I do believe are shore pine, which are really well adapted for this area. They can handle the dry, sandy soil and the high winds, and they don't grow very tall, and they don't grow very thick, but they're still pretty. And of course there's light coming through the forest. So I'm just meandering along the trail, see what there is to see what there is to photograph. And soon we'll be up on the dunes, and we'll walk along the dunes. The trees are spaced wide apart, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of undergrowth, but really there is. Still a lot of chaos is going on in this forest. Branches going everywhere, ferns coming up, plus the sun is pretty high in the sky still. And so you're getting a lot of that dappled sunlight, and so you get dark shadows, bright highlights, which can be kind of difficult to photograph. So really right now I'm just kind of absorbing the forest and looking. I am looking for photos, generally looking for things that aren't as busy. Sometimes it's just light hitting a fern frond in front of something dark, so it kind of stands out more. But I can hear the waves hitting the beach, and I can, the cars going by don't bother me that much. I definitely needed this today. I see a lot of possible images in here, but with the sunlight, it just makes it too difficult. So yeah, I'll either wait until later this afternoon or first thing in the morning. I think if I get up here first thing in the morning, I won't have such harsh light on these trees and on some of these images. But isn't it a pretty forest? I love this forest. Of course, I really haven't met a forest I didn't like, so uh, take that with a grain of salt. But I just really encourage you to come out and in some of these places that you may not get those magnificent views and just walk the nature trails. You might not know what you find. I found a couple of things on the ground that were really pretty to photograph. Here's a little piece of advice for you. When you're out in the forest and it's really harsh light, but you see images that you want to come back later for, go ahead and take reference photos. Either with the camera, with your cell phone, whatever. Just take some reference photos. With your cell phone, you can actually, well, you can do that with this photo camera too. You can mark the GPS location so you can come back for it. Even if it has to be a couple days, weeks, months, years later, you'll have a reference to what you saw when you're out here. And when you come back, maybe you like it as much and you want to photograph it, or you don't like it at all. But take a reference photo. Honestly, it'll help you remember what was there, and so you can get back to it. Back down in the forest, the mosquitoes on the dunes were absolutely voracious. Oh my gosh. I think I'm still getting bit. Ow, it's the end of September, or middle of September. You'd think they'd start dying down, but I think they're ready for one last hurrah of trying to get some more blood out of living creatures here. Oh my gosh. That was, yeah. I'm going to be taking Benadryl when I get home. You won't believe what happened, although you may, because we're on the coast. Clouds are coming in, just really muting the light, but it's absolutely gorgeous. The trees just have this glow, so they don't have that harsh light on them anymore. Just this wonderful golden glow on them. I gotta get out. I gotta get some photos going before sunset. I'll see you in just a minute. For me, it might take a couple minutes. The sun is setting behind that cloud really fast. Although there's a really cool sunbeam coming through the forest. I'm going to see if I can try and capture it. But could also get fog in the morning. This forest with fog, oh my God, how amazing will that be? Anyways, I'm going to try and get this sunbeam. I'm going to show it to you here. Hang on. Crossing my fingers for fog in the morning. I'm thinking heading out to the beach because this light, this diffused, beautiful light on the sand ripples and the dune grasses is going to be gorgeous. So, besides, not a lot of light is hitting the forest right at the moment, but if there's fog in the morning, you're going to see a happy Heidi. And, this is so exciting. What am I looking for out here? Well, it's all about the way the light plays and dances across the wet sand, tiptoes over the rocks, glitters off the textures. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a little bit of magic in the beach. Good morning. Well, the clouds rolled in last night and, well, no sunrise. And because there's clouds, there's no fog. You kind of need cloudless skies for fog. So, yeah, I just kind of cuddled up in bed for just a little bit longer. And now I'm just going to, because it's beautiful diffuse light, which is perfect for forests, I'm going to go play with these shore pines. And I love, these are really cool trees. I mean, you've seen them yesterday, and they're all, twisted quite often. And, they are related. As in siblings, they are the same subspecies, or actually, no, they are related to lodgepole pines. Those big, tall, straight trees that are found on the East Cascades over by the Rocky Mountains. Those and shore pines are subspecies of Pinus contorta. And so I always find it fascinating that you have these beautiful, large, straight trees that are used were used by Native Americans in their lodgings, and they used them for other things too. And then also when the colonizers came in, they used them to build their lodgings and structures. And then they have these, which I don't think you would want to build a house out of these, but they're gorgeous to photograph. Coming to an end to our visit at Twin Harbor State Park in this episode of Photographing Washington State Parks. And I hope you got a little bit out of it. I mean, there's so much to photograph here. You've got a forest filled with shore pines, characters each waiting for you to tell their story. You've got the expansive beach filled with rocks, seashells, birds, textures, light dancing across the waves. I didn't do any intentional camera movement here, but the beach is perfect for that, and so is this forest, really. This is, again, an oceanside park. The beach itself is part of the Washington State road system, so do be careful when you're out there and there's cars around. And you can also drive out there if you're experienced with that. If you need to drive on the hard pack, not in the waves and not in the soft pack. I made that mistake once, and that was a bad thing. But yeah, it's just be careful when you're out on the beach. But it's also a camping park. There's about 275, 300 sites that you can get. About half of them are on this side of the road. So the park crosses the Highway 101. And so if you're parked in the east campground, be careful when you're coming across the road. You've got campsites, cabins, yurts that you can rent. They've got full hookups, no hookups, and showers, bathrooms with running water. Always a bonus. So spend a weekend here. Just sit on the beach, relax, walk through this wonderful forest, and enjoy your Washington State parks. And until the next adventure, bye.